Wanted to ask you about factory farming. So, do you believe an animal suffering unnecessarily is wrong? And if yes, how does capitalism correct for this suffering, given that they don't engage in our markets? So, what do you think of factory farming, given the suffering it causes, and also the fact that it's not a very free market because the government subsidizes a lot of it?
So first of all, I think the government should not subsidize a lot of it, but and that holds true for pretty much everything. I think the government should get out of the subsidy business as a general rule. As far as the morality of factory farming, again, this is one of those areas that is really sort of a fascinating internecine conflict inside conservatism, right? Because the free market side of me goes, hey, animals are not human, and people need cheap meat, and I eat a lot of meat, and I like eggs, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. On the other hand, obviously, I would agree with the general proposition that unnecessary animal suffering is a bad. Now, it's easy for me to say all of that because, of course, I can afford a lot of food, right? If you're somebody who's impoverished and you can't actually afford that much food, then it may make a big difference. It might be a luxury belief, as Rob Henderson says, that animal rights take precedence over, for example, the ability of a mom to feed her kids at a price that she can afford. Right? And so these are kind of complex questions, and I don't think there's an easy answer to them. My usual answer to this sort of stuff is that localism ought to reign. So I think one of the beauties of the American system is that you can live in communities that live very different lives. So if you want to live in a place that really strongly focuses on, for example, non-factory farming, you can live in a community where basically everyone in the community forswears factory farming. I mean, that is possible to form. You could have a voluntaristic buy-in on that level. I do believe, by the way, I happen, as a tech optimist, one area where I actually disagree with a lot of conservatives, including my beloved Governor DeSantis, is he tried to get rid of, for example, the creation of lab-grown meat. I don't see why. I don't think it's to the point lab-grown meat yet where I'd want to eat it. But if you can get that to the point where it's as good as killing an animal and eating it, that'd be fantastic. I would love to be able to eat